so we can have a copy.
No, okay. Let me see if I can get some
Y'all
light.
don't mind me because I don't have my glasses. So Tierra couldn't join today.
No, he might be at work or out there on business. So, hey, but the thing is, brothers, I sent the link out to the brother, so he might get a chance. Point.
Yeah, but the business still booking this pandemic.
Right. There we go. We get some light here.
So I know, Leonard, this is your first time with us. We like to have fun, keep it easy. We don't do stiff conversations around here.
I got you. No worries.
That means
but we keep it PG.
That means
What'd you say?
Hey Leonard, that means at the next red light, you got to jump out the car and start throwing the bowls.
Right.
I got you.
I just gonna hit him with the 3 and back, and you good.
Hey, that 3 and back.
3 and back in the car.
hey, Cornelius, go ahead and cue that Splash Waterfalls.
Y'all are not gonna get me in trouble on today.
Now
J5, why not?
Right. These knees ain't what they used to be, man. The dip is gonna be real short.
Now, Cornelius, every year you ask for the Noops to do something in the studio, either throw the bow, you know what I'm saying, or twirl a cane or something.
Y'all got a cane ready.
Hey, now I know Leonard got the fly cane ready.
I do not, man. I'm trying to get this. Actually, I made a pit stop. I had to get this tire fixed, but I'm about to run to the barbershop real quick. This hair is killing me. I gotta get this out, get this handled.
Man, you see me, man. Look, it's out of control, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I feel real J4ish.
Man.
You still loading, huh?
Yeah. Look, I still got tubs that you can't see over in the corner. I had to push everything to the side.
Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Cornelius Jones. As you can see, I have a Zoom room full of red and white men, the fabulous men of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Happy Founders Day, you all. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so we have Mr. Cornelius Moore, the Pole March. We have Mr. Talvickeo Banks and Mr. Leonard. I didn't catch your last name.
Smith.
Sorry.
Smith.
All right, Mr. Leonard Smith. So thank you all for joining me early this morning. I know everybody's wondering, why is she late? I missed my mark. Sorry, y'all. All right, so we're going to keep this train rolling. Today is all about the Kappas, and today is their Founders Day. So we're going to start with the beginning. We're going to start with the when and where.
All right, brothers. Look, Kappa Alpha Psi was founded January.
Y'all know how to go.
Look. Hey, where my hype man at while I'm reading off this history?
You got this.
Hey. We're gonna let him have his shine since he's making moves. We're gonna give him this last spotlight.
Look, hey, there was a brief pause right there. I was like, hey, the difference.
You got this.
Look, hey, everybody know about the Noops. Everybody know about Kappa Alpha Psi, founded January 5th, 1911 on the campus of Indiana University, Bloomington, Indiana, by 10 illustrious founders. Elder Watson Diggs. Hey, look, everybody know about the Noops. I think more non-Kappas know about Kappa history than some Kappa. Look, I'm telling you, everybody knows about the Noops. You know what I'm saying? Like we just know who we are. So, hey, happy Founders Day to all the Kappas across the country, even in every other continent. Those that are serving overseas, Brother Mike Perez. Hey, this is for you, brother. Hey, look. We just happy to be here and celebrate this achievement. 110 years, founded in 1911. Look, of achievement in every field of human endeavor. So, yo to the Noops.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I want to say good morning to everyone that is watching. And Miss Linda Johnson Frazier says, good morning, happy Founders Day, gentlemen of Kappa Alpha Psi. Okay, so let's talk about the pillars or the foundation that the organization was built upon. I'm gonna pick names if y'all don't start
Hey,
talking.
look, and this,
No, we're trying to let Cornelius answer. I don't know if you know this or not, but he's going to be leaving us soon. So we're trying to give him all the spotlight so he doesn't forget us when he moves
look,
on. So
look,
this
hey,
is your show, brother.
hey, all right, I'm flipping the switch. I don't want no more spotlight. Me and Kobila been doing this for what, 4 years.
And
But
this your
hey,
last one.
right. But hey, I'll be more than happy. So as I said earlier, our foundation is achievement in every field of human endeavor. To encourage patriotism through the members, to encourage customer service, community service in the public interest. So as you know, Kabila, we've been doing those in our local body, but it's on a national and the provincial level that we achieve in these endeavors through our foundation, through our outreach programs like Kappa League, Guide Right. We do other things as far as mentorship as well that a lot of people do not see because we don't broadcast everything, but we do touch base on all those points, even on the political in the political spectrum. We just came out of this election, and so the brothers on the forefront as well with voter registration. We do things on that level politically, but also last week participated in keeping Arkansas clean, keeping Arkansas beautiful by going on the highway and picking up trash and debris along the interstate around Jonesboro. So we do a lot of things. Some are public, some are none. But we just continue to serve our community, serve each other as brothers and our families, and serving in our local faith centers, wherever they may be. And so we just, really well-rounded in all aspects of, social life and things of that nature. So,
All right. I would love for Talvickeo to tell us more about
yeah.
Kappa League. I'm familiar with it, but for those who may not be, and then let us know that even though some of you have moved away, will Kappa League continue?
Well, that's the thing with Kappa League under our Guide Right program. We're continuously looking for different ways to incorporate and have the youth involved, whether by means of, like Brother Pomrick was saying, community service. I mean, those are the things that the young men would aspire to do, and also the developmental skills, into finding themselves, finding career paths, all these types of things that they can looking at the older brothers for, for guidance, for support, for help, and also someone just to talk to. So of course, we're furthering the Kappa League with the Guide Right program. So that's one of the things that we continuously looking at to improving it right now during this pandemic. So we're taking this time as a point to reflect and also look at different ways that we can incorporate different creative ways to engage other people,
Okay.
other students, other young men, just to get them involved and also kind of lead them and guide them on that path in the right direction.
And I know a few of the young men that went through your program. I don't know what age they actually stopped, but now they're in their 20s, well, early 20s. And so they are some wonderful young men, and you can tell that the program made an impact on them. So I hope that you all can continue to make an impact on as many young men that will participate in your program.
And that's the thing. I mean, positive impact. We want to make sure we lead them in the right direction. Also, to give back, to further their education, to help others. So these are all the things that we incorporate in our program to give them that whole perspective, that whole solution to make them ready for the world.
Okay. All right, Mr. Leonard, can you talk about, I know that there are times that you all take students on college tours. This part of you have different fundraisers that you help to raise funds to be able to take, however many students on, well, young men on college tours. So tell us about about that program, and then, what it looks like now, even though we're in the middle of this pandemic, what that may look like now.
Yes, ma'am. The pandemic has definitely made us do things a little differently, but fundamentally, what we try to do is take young men that are involved in the Kappa League program and introduce them to college life. We want to take them to campuses, let them see what goes on, let them get a feel for it. I'll use myself as an example. I'm from the big city of Hazen, Arkansas. We did not have Kappa League, so when I came to campus, I really had no idea what to expect. So our goal with the we say Kappa League, but it's officially the Guide Right program. We're trying to guide the young men in the right direction. Our purpose on that with that is to help them get an understanding and see what college life is like, and so they're just not totally lost when they get there. We're trying to give them a leg up and give them a little head start in life.
Okay. I want to say good morning to Brittany Lewis and Adrian Everett. Thank you all for checking in. Now, I really do hope that with all your programs that this year you all find some very creative and innovative ways to still engage with the young men, because mentorship programs are much needed, probably more than ever, because of the changes that are happening within the school system and the communities. We know 2020 brought us some ups, downs, lefts, and rights, and we saw a lot of social and civil and injustice. And I'm pretty sure those things had an impact on these young men, especially young Black men. And so they need men like you that are willing to serve and lead and guide them and help them understand their feelings and emotions about these things and still hopefully stay on the right path to whatever success looks like for them. So any comments on that?
And Cornelius, I will say the excellent responses, brothers there, Brother Smith, Brother Banks. I will say again, like with the Kappa League program that we have, even though it's not broadcast during this pandemic, we try to stay in contact with them, and follow up, because the thing is, as adults, it's hard to navigate sometimes through this pandemic. So just imagine what the children are going through, or what the youth are going through, with the schools being the way they are, some being virtual, some being non. We try to keep that outlet open so that we can keep touch base with them. And so I think a lot of it is more so just not physically being there, but emotionally being there, just as being big brothers to these young men. And so as we try to find, like Brother Banks was saying, these creative ways to keep them involved and engaged is very challenging. But I believe in the next few months we're going to really be in a position where where the world will open back up, or the country will open back up, so we can position ourselves to do a little bit more in the community. But I tell you, Kappa League is not going anywhere. Kappa League is here to stay. Like Brother Smith said, it looks a little different, but nonetheless, they're resilient. The chapters are resilient, and so regardless of the external variables there, we're still going to achieve regardless. And so we look forward to just really pushing forward in 2021, but it might look a little different though.
Okay. All right. Miss Linda Johnson Frazier says, Cornelius, safe journey and wish nothing but abundant blessings to you and your beautiful family. Much love.
That damn silhouette.
Good morning to Vanessa Bird and my friend Catherine Moore, the sweetheart to Cornelius. Happy Founders Day from the Silhouettes of Jonesboro.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my silhouette.
Thank you all for checking in. Okay, so I want to talk about the Gears Foundation. Like, how can we not talk about the Gears? Like, I know, again, that's going to look different. We might not have a bank. Y'all might not be doing a banquet this year locally, but let's talk about the Gears Foundation.
Let's see.
We'll let you kick that off, Brother Paul Mark.
All right. Hey, but Kubi's gonna start calling names in a minute. No, check it out. But really, now Gears Foundation is something really really near and dear, because as many of you that may not know about Gears Foundation, it is an acronym that says the Gears, Dr. Gaines, educational through let me start over. Dr. Gaines Educational Achievement through Resources and Scholarships Foundation. That's what GEAR stands for.
Okay.
Yeah, forgive me. I'm still a little under the weather a little bit, but it's named after Dr. Gaines, Dr. Wilbur Gaines there in Jonesboro. And I know Kelly K is quite fond of Dr. Gaines and his contributions to the station. But even beyond that, he's been a very key component in the educational field for not only youth, but even most of us that came to college at an early age. And Dr. Gaines, he was instrumental there. He was a force to be reckoned with on campus. And so the foundation of this Achievement Foundation is named after him in his honor. But not only just that, he is well deserving of that because of who he is. He's a giant on the educational field, on the campus of Arkansas State University, but not only there, throughout the state of Arkansas and beyond. So, but the Gears Foundation, even though we cannot have a physical banquet or our gala, where we raise those funds to give scholarships to those young high school seniors going off to either college or they're going off to perform like some type of trade or whatever the case may be. We want to push them in that direction, as we were saying earlier, so that they can make their impact in the world. So we try to present those funds to them. And I know it's been kind of difficult, but nonetheless, we don't have any seniors this year that are graduating, but when we do, we like to give them some type of support and say, hey, go out there and be great. And so that's what the Gears Foundation is there for. So when we are soliciting those funds or donations in this fall, in the spring, or whenever, just know that you're helping to send these young men or whomever we choose for that particular scholarship or that resource. And the resources can be if they need some type of equipment or whatever for their job duties. And it can be shoes, it can be uniforms, it can be anything outside of a scholarship for tuition. Then we want to make sure that nothing, if it's in our power, nothing is going to keep them from achieving their dreams or that next level of success in their lives. So all in all, that's what the Gears Foundation is for. Is to help push our next generation leaders.
Now,
we're definitely giving thanks to Dr. Gaines, who brought Kappa Alpha Psi to the campus of Arkansas State University in 1975. But just in addition to that, the Gears Foundation is a 501c3 entity. So, I mean, with the different funds that are being donated and contributed. So, like the Brother Pomork said, that we don't have any seniors graduating this year, but we will be looking at means for taking in funds as we prepare to administer those scholarships in the future. So definitely be on the lookout for different ways you can donate and help contribute.
Okay. And I just want to let everyone know that if they want to learn more about you, and not necessarily the Gears Foundation, but learn more about Kappa Alpha Psi, you have an official website, and then you also have Facebook pages for the local chapter. Kappa Alpha Psi 1911.com, and there you can find more information. I really want to read this part because I want to talk about this because I asked all of the D9s this question about the time frame, the climate that the organization was founded in. And it says Kappa Alpha Psi College Fraternity was born in an environment saturated in racism. The state of Indiana became the 19th state of the Union in 1866, and it founded Indiana University in Bloomington 4 years later. And so it goes on to talk about the racial divide and things that were happening during that time. Even though we were post, Reconstruction and all that, there was still this tension and this pushback. And so can you give us a little bit, as we get ready to go into break, about 3 minutes, what it may have been like for the founders of this organization during that time?
It was a very tough time period. We have to remember this is 1911. We're still in a very, very racially divided country. It's crazy I say this, but we're in 2020 and still we're having the same conversation. I'll give you a little nugget of history without giving too much, but the name was changed. It was actually Kappa Alpha Nu, and there was an issue with that Nu, and white students substituting nu for another word. So the fraternity's name was officially changed to Kappa Alpha Psi to avoid that racial derogatory term toward its organization. So that in itself just kind of gives you a little nugget as to how tense it was for them in 1911 to start a Black organization on a white campus in a very racially divided part of the country.
Wow. That just speaks to your perseverance, your excellence, and just who you are as men, and the desire, ability, or whatever other word you want to put in there, to rise above whatever challenges you face. You know, I have to give a shout out to all of you gentlemen, the ones that I know. You are excellent members of the community. You are family men, husbands, businessmen. Like, you do so much, and I just want to say thank you personally. um, Thank you for always showing up. I know I bugged the heck out of y'all.
Sunday night.
So,
But Cornelius, to that note, before we go to break, I will definitely be remiss if I do not give a shout out to our grand pole, my brother Ruben Shelton, and also for our own local our provincial pole mark, Southwestern Province, the largest province in the fraternity, Theronate Hightower, who is here in Jonesboro, our chapter brother. And so a Theta Mu initiate, and also a charter member of the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter. So we have some great brothers here in this community, in this chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi.
all right, so we're going to get ready for a break here in a moment. I want to continue the conversation on Facebook. So those of you listening, you can jump on Facebook, join the conversation. We'll keep it light so you don't miss out on too much. Because I want the gentlemen to share stories about,
Right.
you know, why you joined, what impact the fraternity has had on you, you know, what legacy do you hope to leave? But during the break, we're going to definitely talk about, I know Cornelius was really busy and wasn't able to give me his Kwanzaa message, but I want you to share, you know, what it means to leave a legacy, because again, through the Gears Foundation at Kappa League, you're legacy building. You're building legacies all over. So definitely want to talk about that. So again, you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We have Mr. Cornelius Moore, Talvickeo Banks, and Mr. Leonard Smith. But the conversation will continue on Facebook Live. So get on over there. But we'll be right back. I want to say good morning to Mr. Derek Coleman. He says, thank you, gentlemen, for all that you do. Sorry, Mr. Derek, got to talking. But he says thank you. And so, but we'll be right back after these announcements. All right, gentlemen. So we're still live on Facebook. So we're gonna keep the conversation rolling. So let's talk about legacy building, you know, in terms of the Kwanzaa theme. I feel that Kwanzaa can be celebrated 24/7, 365. It's not just 1 week out of the year. And so talk about that. Either one of you.
Well, definitely for me, for legacy building, you know, I have two sons, so and I try to be a model for them, because my actions, they see those things and what I endure, and not only just providing, but you know, just to be that model for them, just growing up, to be an example, to see something, to not only do what I do, but do it better. And those are positive things that we're looking at, not only being a steward, being a provider, doing things in the community, also with helping and assisting others, and also taking on your studies, and but just overall being a whole person, being a great person, of someone that wanted to talk to you about things, or go places with you, and also just to be that sounding board, if you will. And those are things for me, you know, just to be a good example for my boys, being there for them, and also leaving that legacy, because I mean, they see this will be my 20th year in the fraternity, fall 2001. So I mean, they've seen nothing else, so they would know the right way to go on their path. So, yo to the brothers.
That's awesome.
20 years, man.
Hey.
You're aging us.
Yes, sir.
You got about 2 minutes before we go back. So you want to share your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I didn't know, Brother Smith wanted to go, but I will tell you this, and it's connected to even Dr. Gaines is connected to Brother Hightower. I remember meeting Brother Hightower, in that UPS truck driving around, finally met him. Seen Dr. Gaines. He was he was an instructor in a couple of my classes.
Okay.
And so even just the impact that they've been in the community, on the campus, things of that nature, just kind of watching that, I identified with that. I identified with them as men, and as staples in the community. And so I say, this is definitely the right choice. For me, it was the only choice. It was either Kappa or nothing. And so, but I'm telling you, just stepping foot on the campus of Arkansas State in 1999, I'm telling you, it was without a shadow of a doubt who was running the yard. The Nukes who were running the yard. That's not even bias. It was just
Okay.
fact. It was just facts. And so, and now I don't mean that they were just, it was all social running the yard, but it had the highest GPA on the campus. So it pushed me to become a better student, because I knew that I didn't want to be the person to try to come in and the GPA average go down. So all of those things pushed me to become a better student, a better person. But even with leaving a legacy, as Brother Banks was saying, he has 2 boys and a girl. I have 3 girls and a boy. And so who my son Cornelius just graduated from Arkansas State a couple of weeks ago. Well, very proud of him. And so just leaving that impact with our children, because it looks different now for them than it did when we were children. And
Okay. Pause right. Okay. Oops. Welcome back to Community Conversation on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm sorry, Cornelius, had to cut you.
you're fine.
I'm always hitting my time, running up against my talk beds. But we've been having a really great conversation off air, so you're going to have to go back and watch the video. But I am joined by Cornelius Moore and Talvickeo Banks of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, more specifically, Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. And so let's talk about when the JAC was actually founded or chartered. I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology.
You good.
Jonesboro London was founded June 30th, 2001. It was actually a moment for me, because just looking in on something that I knew I wanted to be a part of, coming from Forest City, Arkansas. I mean, like our brother Moore was saying, it was kept be a noob or nothing, what I'm saying? So, because coming through there and looking at the ranks, and also we had our mindset. So now it's trying to figure out how do we navigate this and to get on the other side without coming off, and trying to make things up here and to have a smooth transition, if you will, try to avoid all the things that were going on back then. But it's still same time, have fun, get your studies and also become a part. I mean, with the alumni chapter being chartered in 2001, so that was definitely something that, in addition to the undergraduate chapter that had previously been here, with former brothers that came through the chapter, saw something for after your times as a student, there would be the after period where you look at continuing to have growth for grad students, and also the professional, the working class. So these are the types of things, because I mean, there's no point in time that we're okay, you can eliminate not going back to school. So that may have been a goal for some to go back, or even maybe not just had the chance to do it during their undergraduate year. So it gives an avenue to continue that, and also give people some hopes and some dreams to achieve their goals, and also things, because I mean, ultimately the goal is achievement.
All right. I want to give some more shout outs here. Miss Rita Miller checking in. Jason King says, my bro Punchy. And he says,
oh my God.
And then he says, I guess this is to Talvickeo. He said, 99. Whoo, you an elder now.
Hey, Cornelius, this is exactly why I wait to answer the questions. Even though I'm pole mark, I still wait for those that are 20 years and beyond. Hey, I've only been in 11 years, going on 12. So, look, hey, I'm talking about, hey, I just.
What you talking about? I barely look 20.
Look, facts.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. I also want to give a shout out to Nina Lester and Happy Founders Day. Another Happy Founders Day shout out. And then Laoma, I'm sorry, Loma make them. I apologize for messing up your name. Happy Founders Day from Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, the Pretty Poodles.
Yeah,
Shouting out to the pretty fellas. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, these guys are more than just good looking. They are active members of their community. They're active on their jobs and their families. So again, shout out to all that you all do. And again, I know look, y'all, I know 2019, I bugged Cornelius like a lot. So, but whenever I called, he was there, Tierra was there, Talvickeo showed up. There are some others that showed up too that I'm not quite familiar with, but those three I can definitely call out. So thank you for always answering the call. And now that we're doing a lot more virtually, hopefully, I won't bug you too much, but hopefully you all can still be available for something.
I'm telling you, that's the beautiful thing of Zoom, and Kobila, I'm telling you, let me just say that since you shout us out like that, hey, we got to show some love back to you. Like you have given us, and of course, Kaylee K, and shout out to brother Kale, because you guys have really given Kappa League Gears Foundation a platform. Just hearing our commercials on the radio, because we were going to support the radio station anyway, but just the way you have pushed our organizations, and just kept them in the loop. I mean, that's amazing, So just hats off to you for leading this conversation every year, And I know you're a little biased to the Noops, but hey, we ain't gonna say nothing. It's all good. But yeah, we're gonna keep that. But I'm gonna tell you, we just appreciate all that you do for us, because I'm telling you, it's very impactful. Even when you set it up for Kappa League to come on during their Kappa League Founders Week in February, to give them an opportunity. They love that, and so I appreciate you for creating that space for us. Okay?
Well, tell them they still have space this year. Look, it's all virtual, but they still have space, so let me know.
Exactly, we'll do.
So, and I want to say good morning to another sweetheart of one of our fellows here, Miss Tiffany Banks. Thank you for checking in. All right. And so I want to transition a little bit to talk about the impact that Kappa Alpha Psi has had on you in your life, in your family, and community. And then tell us why you joined. So why you joined, and then what impact has it had on you? We're going to start with the elder here.
Come on, elder.
Just dating back.
Elder dude.
Why I joined, it was one of the things that growing up in Forest City, Arkansas. Predominantly the city, it's nothing but men of Kappa Alpha Psi. So the majority. There are some others, but we were looking at what I saw, and those were the men that kind of fit my personality. Some of the ones that I talked to in passing, who were professionals, who were educators, and those were the things that I looked at, because for me, just growing up, just want to continue to do better, and also I was working at the bank at the time. It was several different men that came in, not just from the shirts, from the professional dress all the way down, it's like, that's something I want to be a part of. Even just from the different talks, and so I knew for me that was the direction that I wanted to go at a very young age. And also, and I set my goal to obtain that. And a year later, here I am, and now we're at 20. So looking at nothing but the times.
Now, Kobila, now I love Brother Banks' answer, but I'm gonna tell you the real reason why he plays Kappa. I'm gonna tell you. I'm getting ready to tell you the real. Like Vic, he pretty. Vic, come on, say, hey, I'm a pretty dude, man. Hey, go ahead. Look, hey, go ahead and tell the truth, man. Look, hey, even when we were I went to high school with Vic. He's a year younger than me. So look, in high school, junior high, you know, Vic walking around campus, man, like, look, hey, what? You know, saying charm, you throw the charm on the ladies. No, I mean, now kids know, I know. But I'm just telling the truth. So when he got to college, it wasn't nothing different. It was like, hey, you know, I'm on the yard. What's up? But hey, and honestly though, man, I'm telling you, even having the presence of Kappas in our high school in the city, for a city, they say they just breed Kappas, they breed nukes. And so, those brothers are all around the city, and we were just watching them. It was like, man, like, hey, that's what I want to be when I, get to that point if I have an opportunity. Right. And for a lot of brothers, it was the reason why they initially came to college, is to be a Kappa. Okay. And then somewhere in there, they was like, hey, now I want a career. I want to do more than just, have a strong social life. We have brothers that are going to grad school, becoming doctors and lawyers, and physicians and all of that, and pastors now. Imagine that. We have a lot of ministers that are in our chapter, in our fraternity. Okay. Because where we started at the beginning was just, hey, on a social level, man, I want to be that. I want to be just like them. And then it went from that to simulating, the career that they had, the opportunities that went along with achieving education. So, but
that was a good presumption that you had. I'm not speaking my story. So,
hey, we gotta tell the whole truth out here. Even the high towers, look, man, I'm telling you, man, these guys, man, they know they're pretty. Yo
to the news.
Oh my God. We're gonna give some shout outs, and then Cornelius, you're gonna share your story. All right, want to say good morning to Grace I'm sorry, Brittany Williams and Big OG Somler. He says, my boy Vic. I don't know how to pronounce his real name, so I'm going by the Facebook names. But Cornelius. So tell us. I know you gave us some insight, but tell us more your story of why you joined, and then we'll talk about what impact Kappa Alpha Psi had on your individual life.
Okay, so just like I say, even going back to, I have family that are Kappa, that are a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. My first cousin, who actually pledged Iota Gamma chapter, who's now the current pole mark of the Conway alumni chapter. He was like a big brother to me. Like I said, it was my first cousin. So when I just watched him, and just wanted to be exactly the splitting image, because that was a very, I needed that contact. I needed that, that role model, as, if you will, something to really physically look at, to say, I don't really know which way I want to go, but so for the meantime, I'm just going to do what you're doing. And so I can find out, who I am, till I can find out, some of the things that I have interest in, things of that nature. So that's how I started, as far as the whole, coming into the Greek life. I used to travel to Conway, it had the End of the World Greek show. They had the Conway, that was where you ended up when it was time for, a Greek show, right? I think that was around, when was that big End of the World Greek show? Was around spring break or something like that? I can't remember exactly when they had it. But Conway, Arkansas is where you wanted to be when all of that took place. And so just being in the element, being around all of those, just in the culture was so intense. And I said, well, and this is no disrespect, I don't want to say that, but I will say this. I identified with Kappa. I just did. And so, when I came to college, and truth be told, Kabila, I was one of those guys. I didn't even want to go to college at first. I was going to go to the military, or either I was going to, I was going to drive, cross country with my dad, because he was driving, 18 wheelers. Okay. He was. That's what he did, and I wanted to be that. I wanted to do that. I wanted to drive with him. So, with some friends of mine, like Mike Smith, Steve Wright, they were a year ahead of me. And they came they were already at Arkansas State. So, and every now and again I would visit Arkansas State, and then I was just seeing kind of, the energy that was surrounding that. And I said, here we are again. I'm just identifying and, with these men and what they're doing. And still to this day, they're doing great things, And so that was my journey and how I came into Kappa, because, at the time, like I said, I did not know where I wanted to go, and so those me and just surrounding myself with those positive guys helped steer me into the right direction. So and then we ended up becoming fraternity brothers as well. But it started way beyond. See, it doesn't start when you just get on campus and you want to sign up.
Way before that.
Whatever you do it's way before that. There's so many things that takes place before you decide what fraternity or sorority you want to be a part of. And so, because it's just those social connections, that take place behind the scenes that you can't see in the public eye, that strengthens that decision to become a part of an organization. So,
okay.
For that, that's for me.
All right. Even though I'm not in an organization, I've met some ladies.
Don't say nothing crazy now.
Hey, I'm gonna let you ride, bro, Mark.
Hey, I saw your microphone come unmuted. I was like, oh, here we go. He's gonna try to get me.
You want to know the real reason? All right. He the shimmy. He knew when Mike and Steve came back, he saw him like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. All the love that was shown, like, oh yeah, that's what I want to be a part of. Like that, it wasn't just about throwing them rules or parties. It was a holistic experience, and to have it go through that and see brothers and just the love shown after the fact. Yeah, he thought he was pretty too. So I mean, but what noob don't. So I mean, that's one of the things.
Right. Hey, good point.
So we go through it and
all right.
take it
I want to read a few comments right quick. Miss Linda Johnson Fraser says, Vic said the carpet was rolled out for him because he was so pretty.
See, hey, look.
I appreciate this, sis.
And Miss Tiffany says, Happy Founders Day, of course, with the pink and green hearts. Shout out to Alpha Kappa Alpha, who will be on later in the next week.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about the impact that the organization has had on you. You all talked about when you were younger, of course you went in with one image, but now that you are grown and professional, it just means something totally different now.
No, absolutely. I mean, for me, it was definitely a start. I mean, having been a part of, like SAB, SGA, Student Support Services, these are different outlets, to where you can help hone in certain skills and grow. And being a part of Kappa Alpha Psi, being initiated, joining, pledge, and doing the whole nine. So it really opened your eyes up to, similar other organizations and things outside of school. They're operate on some of the same structures and some of the same principles. And also these are things that they're building tools, to help you not only just elevate yourself in your lives, your careers, but these are different paths that people take, not only to be in a positive image, also to help others, and also to grow, mature. So these are different ways, to you're looking at community services, and looking at different career groups, paths. So definitely Kappa Alpha Psi help project that, in a positive manner to an organization, having been in leadership classes, going on different retreats and conclaves. These are all types of things. We have a C. Roger Wilson Leadership Conference that you learn these types of things, you learn these skills, and it's up to you to take that in, also to grow that, and also and give back and do more. So that's one of the things that really got me into want to be a part of different organizations, want to be able to help and also help lead. And that's what I've done. I mean, just from my time, not only being in Jonesboro, but as we grow here in Texas and everywhere else. So I mean, even back home in Forest City. So I always wanted to be a leader, and I knew what it would take. I mean, it would take, getting on the grind, working, maybe in early mornings, maybe late hours. Those are things that you had to endure to get to the next level, and also get you a mentor, get you a group of people that you can connect with. You know, even now, it's still important to have that, you know, for support mainly, and also too, so you have that sounding board to make decisions. You know, you want to make informed decisions. So taking that into account, so I think that can help lead and also project you on a path that will you can do great things. And Kappa Alpha Psi has definitely helped me do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Cornelius.
The impact. Oh my God. It has it's left a lasting impression. Like I say, even from I took you all the way through how it impacted me as a youth in high school, junior high. I knew in junior high school. That's how far back. That's how strong the presence was from those older brothers. They came to our junior high school. They came to our high school. They were in the community doing things, and so dispelling the idea or the preconceived notion, as Brother Banks was saying, that Kappas all we do is shimmy, throw bows, twirl cane, you know, all of that stuff that you hear in the chant and stuff like that. Yeah, that's for a social, you know, the social spectrum. But when it comes down to business, the leadership, one of the strongest roles I have as a leader. As a matter of fact, it even shaped my degree. I have a degree now in business management, emphasis in leadership management. And so it really hones in on my career path, and not just, you know, in the healthcare field. That's where I am now. I've taught in the classroom as well, even in ministerial leadership as well. You know, being a member of the clergy. Look, I'm telling you, I don't care what anybody says. Kappa Alpha Psi is not an organization that a lot of people have had this image of. And only see, that's just a one-dimensional mindset that they have towards Kappa Alpha Psi. It's multi-dimensional.
All right, I'm put a pause right there. For those listening on air, we're going to take a really quick break. We'll be back after these announcements. Okay, go ahead.
But like I said, it's multi-dimensional. There's so many different things that has played into me being a part, you know, of this organization. Just the impact with Kappa League, you know, that was one of my greatest accomplishments as being pole mart, is, you know, founding that, being one of the founders of that Jonesboro Kappa League program, because, you know, as you talked about legacy, you know, the legacy of us as Kappas on the campus is what we do as through our youth, and so that's why we push them, and that's why we try to keep them engaged. It's difficult, you know, because, you know, they're youth and then the pandemic and all that, but nonetheless, you know, that is what keeps us going. That's what keeps the gears turning. That's why we keep thinking. It's like, hey, we had a conversation last week. I'm gonna say, it's like, brothers, what can we do now, given the circumstances that we have in front of us? And so our gears and our mind are turning. We're putting things on the board. It's like, hey, can we do this? No, that's not safe. No, can we do this? You know, so we're putting things out there, but through the pandemic, you know, it's really, you know, shooting down a lot of the things that we would love to do for them. So the impact is really pushing things that we can leave a legacy, we can leave a mark, and so whether they go off the, you know, to the military across the sea, or they go to from one coast to another coast in the country, you know, they'll take whatever we have instilled in them with them. They'll become better fathers. They'll become better husbands. They'll become better leaders in their communities. You know.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We've been having such a great conversation. I know my time has been off today. Oh my God, please forgive me. But we've been having a really great conversation today. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching and sharing this video. I want to say good morning to Johnny Oates Prunty, Misha Watts, and Mrs. Shanquetta Cunningham. another lady of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She says happy Founders Day. We'll definitely have them on. It's gonna be pink and green lit up in here. It's like next week it's gonna be J everything. Too,
J everything.
so.
J everything.
But I want to thank you all for you joining us. Thank you again for all the work that you do in the community. Mr. Derek Coleman said he hoped to see you all this year, but of course, you know, things are different. Many of you have moved to different places, and so it's just going to look a little different this year than the past years. But we hope that the momentum and the energy stays the same. And I hope to connect with the younger gentlemen that are still here. Look, I always got work for somebody to do. We're gonna find something.
First week of February,
for somebody
trying to set that up.
Quabila, if I may, I just want to let you know that my phone has been jumping off the hook, and some of my older brothers are saying, let them know who the best is and who guided you. So definitely want to appreciate all the brothers, you know, that helped us along the way, got us through the process, and you know, from Dr. Gaines to Dr. Davis back in 1975, and also the line 20 Ice and Snow 22 below, and after that, and all the lines that after me. So definitely, you know, I mean, yo to the news, to the good brother, keep it going, baby.
All righty. So I want to just end on. Well, I say end on. If you could leave, you know, one or two words to the younger gentlemen that are in your, say, Kappa League. If you could give them one word that would help catapult them to the next level, you know, or a statement, or say a word or a statement that you would give them to say, okay, here's what I'm leaving you. Here's the gift I'm leaving you. What would you say to them, Cornelius?
My word or my phrase is something that has really come to fruition in the last few years, a couple years, and what I've dealt with. And that word or phrase is resilient. And that phrase is be resilient. What does that mean? That means that if you can't do anything about adversity, you are to expect adversity to come into your life. But it's not about the adversity that you pay attention to. It's about your response to it. What would be your response to the inevitable? You cannot keep trouble from coming to your doorstep. But what will your response be? Your response will be that through it all, I'm going to keep God first. I'm going to keep other individuals beside me that have my best interests at heart, that I can give good, like Brother Banks said, that can give great counsel. And then I'm going to keep going no matter who says that I cannot. So be resilient.
Okay, thank you. Talvickeo?
Definitely, I would say focused, even just for me, we've been thrown with a lot of different challenges and obstacles because we set plans and goals of what we want to do, and not everyone has the same path to get to that end goal or that achievement or that success. So you have to stay focused on what your end goal is. So there are going to be a number of things that's going to kind of throw you off balance or throw you off track. But you have to keep in mind, you know, to stay strong and also look down past the now to what you're trying to get. So you want to make sure that you're making different provisions to accommodate that. You're working with others, not only internally but externally. But so you want to make sure that you stay focused within yourself to obtain and achieve what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Shout out to Mrs. Taquita Willis Jackson. She says, yo, yo, yo. One of my favorite news and tech guy. Happy Founders Day. Sean Quetta says, the first is ready. Y'all know it's coming to the max, pink and green.
Look, not yet. Oh, look. We know they're ready. We pumped them. They're pumped and primed. Let us have a fifth. Look, January 6th. What do you say, Vic?
So we demand a fifth.
And we demand a fifth.
Okay. Oh, goodness. And then Miss Linda Johnson first says, Cornelius and Vic never get too busy for one another. And then Shaquetta was saying, preach on your comments that you were making. Thank you guys so much. We have 2 minutes, well, less than 2 minutes. Any final shout outs to anybody, anything? I want to say hey to your wives. Hey, ladies, how y'all doing?
Okay. Absolutely. Brother Banks, do you have, and then I'll go after you if you, or whatever you want.
I mean,
I
really,
got a minute and a half.
Today, January 5th, 2021, 110 years. Definitely shout out to all the Noops, that's been there, that's paved the way, that have made everything possible from us from 1911 up until now. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And those, I share those sentiments as well. Kubila, keep doing a great job. And even to the KLK, we will always be a support to KLK. Anything that you need, give us a call. February, first week of February, Kappa League Founders Week. We can set that up if you want to do that. But that's what it's all about, is our youth. So community, when you see Kappa's doing something great, just know that it's not just us, but we're looking to leave a legacy for our youth.
All right.
Shout out to my alumni, Fall 2001, FICO Dreams, Princeton Queens.
Hey, look, you better shout about spring 2009, baby.
I have enjoyed you gentlemen so much. Thank you for blessing us with all this red and white. I had to show a little love on today.
Come on, Kubila. Yeah, you always come through for them.
All right, so what'd you say?
I said you always come through for it. I said you always come through for you. Will represent to the fullest.
I try to do a little something. But thank you everybody for tuning in, for watching. This has been our Tuesday. I hope everyone has a great and blessed day. Bundle up, mask up, and stay warm. All right, y'all. All right, so let me stop. So stop the live feed. Thank you all so